Yeah, I know Brawlternative is a video. I'm going to watch it maybe Sunday or the week after. I'm going to give it time to cook. I want to give him a little bit of time. Except Leon Massey. F that guy. 10 hours ago? My movie now. Give me that.
Smash 64's smorgasbord of a cast would have been crafted without a guideline. It wasn't flying completely blind thanks to inspirations of King of Fighters and the whole generation of Street Fighter 2 likes, but it was also having to evolve into its own niche. And the predator that was Nintendo's established IP needing to feed off of its success would have created a development food chain that was unpredictable.
Was Smash inspired by KOF specifically? I don't know if it was inspired by KOF or if Sakurai just liked KOF. Yeah, little people would get stabbed IRL from playing cheap shit. Nerfing a character so people don't die, a real hero. If you grabbed a lot in Street Fighter 2, you might not make it home.
With the negligence resulting in a clear strongest character, Pikachu.
Boom!
But Kirby was a close second.
Yeah, Kirby was.
Finding himself brushing up against the best list after
Fox 2?
list, there was very
That's
little
shocking.
debate that Kirby
Falcon 3?
so it was
Rocket's
only
so
natural
fast.
that another Smash was on the way. One where Kirby would be trash.
Die! By the way, this is going to sound like a joke or I'm being, like, relevant now, topical. I'm not. I think that should have happened to Wonder Woman. I now play Steven. I don't think I told you guys this. I'm a Steven main. Not a joke. I'm a Steven main. Because he feels like he's playing the game normally. Okay, you know what? I wonder what this show's about. I looked this up. I got embarrassed.
Older at house number 18,
Well, I mean, we
but
didn't
even
know.
from
Come
the
on.
early 2000s crack pipe until
Asses were
now,
not
people
grabbed.
seem to agree Kirby is arse. Slaloming between the bottom 5 slots,
Oh,
he's
God.
undeniably bad. But when compared
Damn, look at Yoshi. Everybody's just like, I don't know about this guy. He's literally just going up and down all over. Yoshi's just bop. Yoshi! Just all the way up. Oh my god.
every aerial he throws out has a real honking hog of a hitbox, shit looking like a can of monsters, bigger than my
Yeah,
iPhone type
it
beat,
stays
which
out a
when
while,
combined
yeah.
with 64Z cancel, which removes
Shit
all
bangs,
aerial
yeah.
landing lag, sets up walls that are very hard to approach.
Kirby's kind of like a tower defense character. You just hold your bubble, and then if anybody gets in, you just deploy the balloons monkey.
These moves could
I
let
always
Kirby
forget
play
that
keep
fair
away,
is a good move.
denying the opponent's space in a very passive pattern of wait-and-see rejections, followed up by consistent punishes. The
Oh
real
my
advantage of
God.
these moves was how
You can't
consistently
even block it. You
put your
can't even
opponent
block
off
it.
stage, where Kirby's real kill potential kicked in.
I never really thought about the fact that they had multiple jumps. I feel like that's very easy to think about, and I didn't even consider it.
In a game where many characters' recovery is pretty poor, has him blast through almost the entire cast, with the
Yeah.
notable exception being Pikachu, in
Pikachu's
part
actually-
because that character's fast
you can't
and diverse
edgeguard, 'cause
recovery
dude
makes
is
Kirby
zapping.
unable to capitalize on their most lethal point of play. It's not the flashiest, but solid moves allow for a
Kirby
basic
is
game
so
plan
boring,
of difficult to
dude.
challenge defense that capitalizes on sloppy approaches, a pair of qualities
He's
that create
awful.
a tight game plan. Melee Kirby, on the other hand, well, a wise man once said, preheat the oven to 200 degrees and cook for 20 to 25 minutes. Just because you know the saying doesn't mean you live by it.
Oh yeah, that seems about
Oh,
done.
it's Kirby!
Melee Kirby still needs some time in the oven. A lot of people will tell you that's because there's still plenty of raw
What was that? What did he do to that chicken? Is that permanent marker? Leon, did you eat this? UK cuisine. Did you have beans with this, Leon?
Melee Kirby still needs some time in the oven. A lot of people will tell
Yeah,
you
he's
that's
just-
because there's still plenty
he's
of raw
undone.
dough and how it shouldn't have bugs in
Well,
it.
my
Though I
theme
think
song- I
that's
love
just
this
the
song.
immediately bitter taste the character leaves in your mouth. In Melee, it's still decently sized, but look at those little piggies sticking out.
Oh, I don't. Oh my god. Oh god.
That extended hurt box doesn't
Oh god, his little tootsies. Ew.
make the move useless, but it nudges the attack's quality down. Characters now have a much greater opportunity to trade with it, and
Yeah.
characters with particularly
So you
disjointed
just hit
attacks
him,
are able
bro.
to challenge it directly. You have L cancels, which only remove half of the typical delay.
Sure.
By itself, that has very little impact, but when mixed with the system changes, presents some problems.
I was gonna say, if you remove swords, is Kirby good? But no, Martha's one character. How the fuck are you fighting Falco? He's just a moving hitbox. Because, like, if you fight Kirby, he wins in the new games. Kirby's still ass, but, like, Kirby is, like, Shoto Jr. He's FGC Jr.
Dash dancing and wave dashing lets characters move with less commitment, making a button that's strength is controlling a large set position weaker since face rolling the gray stick right.
They could just... Everybody has drive rush.
Puff's been terrorizing the mind palace of Smashers for years with a move that occupies the exact same idea. The difference there, though, comes back to movement. Puff has a lot of aerial, letting her dip in and out of space while she's in the air, while Kirby has such little horizontal mobility that he has to tank the spot that he's currently standing in.
He's the Luigi of Puff.
This was still the case in 64, but the mobility was lower across the board, making this a bit of a non-issue.
Jigglypuff is so inspired, man. What a cool character, genuinely. Like, I think it's so cool to create that character. Don't bat chest me.
Air gets significantly weak without Z cancels to give it advantage on block, and thanks to Uptilt's relationship to it, it also impacts the rest of the chain. Fair started working at half of the active frames with less reliable results. A loss in functionality so severe it might as well be called Boris, Liz, and Rishi. Up air...
Why did Leon always get political with shit I don't understand? I'm not from your spot, Leon. Take that out. I don't know what the fuck is going on over there. British politics?
However, Kirby being nerfed in a literal sense is not the biggest problem. In reality, it's a small slice of the problem pie that is, again, covered in salmonella. The real issue for Kirby is the entire system tray that the character is baked in. His aerial drift will always keep him locked to the same general area, it's that he's able to capitalize on holding down the fort with his large hitboxes more effectively than most characters. When that evolved character gets brought over to Melee, that weakness in his aerial drift is amplified. Even if he had the same hitboxes as 64, that wouldn't help him all too much.
Did Randall save him here?
Even if he had the same
No, okay. I was gonna say, that's fucked up.
Hitboxes as 64, that wouldn't help him all too much. His mobility wouldn't let him keep up with characters in a faster metagame. But even if he could catch you, what was he supposed to do exactly? The new DI system that also impacts crouch canceling, along with lower hit stun, means that he's unlikely to move you off stage, rarely letting Kirby get a big reward, but also meaning that he has to play more neutral, which he's now substantially worse at doing.
Can Kirby edgeguard? I guess he's gonna talk about it, but like, I mean, he's got like 5 jumps or whatever, but...
Kirby's lack of aerial mobility, along with direct nerfs, nullify the strengths of old and unravel the weaknesses
back air? Yeah, but
you can even see parts of Melee
I feel like you could just nair back air and hit him back, you know?
These flaws in 64. Look at Isaiah versus Super Boomfan at Super Smash Con.
Okay.
For about 5 whole minutes, it's Kirby attempting to control the stage while Pikachu controls the platforms. Because of Kirby's open access to combo starters, Pikachu is disincentivized to approach.
I remember when people were starting to do 64 at more events, mostly Genesis and like big events, and people were like, wow, Nintendo 64 Smash, can't wait, what a legacy. It's been around for so long, these players have been playing forever, this will be so much fun to watch. And then it went on, and it went like 2 hours over time, and it was not fun. It's fun as an idea. It is awful to watch.
But Kirby's lack of ability to move horizontally while in the air means that his approach
it would be cool, like a blast from the past. It's not.
So in Melee, the character has to lean on something else. But what else is there? One of the hardest parts about playing a low tier is the fact that you can't find a game. You're going to insult me with your dog shit Falco, I'd at least hope that you have the courtesy to humor my subpar Kirby. Since people aren't taking you seriously, and the people that are probably aren't going more than 1 and 2 in tournament, it can be hard to get an accurate read on where your character gets a lot of mileage. Effective tools on the unranked shitter aren't really representative if your opponent's a devout follower of our Lord and Savior, Graystick Down.
There should be a Kirby skin where he looks like Fox. Kirby moveset on Fox's model, and see how long it would take them to notice. Because, like, if 100% goes by, they'd be like, oh, that's Kirby. Oh, well, I'm in game now. but if they don't, if they see Kirby right away, they're going to leave. But if they see Fox, they're like, oh, I'll fight this, Kirby catfish. Yeah, see?
Thankfully, no matter how many words of wisdom you put in front of someone, there's always someone who just doesn't care. Just a little treat. Triple R versus Frenzy at Big House 6 is a match that isn't representative of either player's skill level anymore. But when you're looking for Kirby footage, beggars can't be choosers. One of the first things that you'll notice is that defensive walling Kirby, he's not exactly present here. There's the odd spot here and there where it looks like it's 1999, but for the most part, Triple R is approaching a lot. That might seem natural to avoid getting locked down by the laser, but if you look at Inkafest 2019, when Nex is playing Kirby and Isaiah is playing Fox, who has a hit stun laser, there's...
Dude, did he manually track this? Can you automatically track videos? I'm a shitty editor. I hate editing.
2019,
can he get the name to automatically track? Yes? Okay, never mind. He's not good.
Nex is playing Kirby, and
back when I did it manually because I'm an idiot.
Isaiah is playing Fox.
How do you think you put the names on there? I did that before. I manually added every frame. When I tracked, I would literally do every frame by hand. Not a joke. Oh, make them track your mic. Good idea. Yeah, is this going on YouTube? Watch this. Do something with the mic track by hand.
But just as likely, you're going to get a stray hit into...
My bad, editors.
Nothing. Wow.
Oh, hold on. You missed me, and it ricocheted. You shot a chatter. Cubert FTP is dead.
You might be lucky enough for a tech chase you can follow up on. Keyword there being might. A lot of the time though, when Triple R throws out a fair, Frenzy backdashes just a little, and likely due to a little bit of matchup unfamiliarity, Triple R goes unpunished a lot. Might be one of the better ways for Kirby to get to one of his best tools. Kirby doesn't have the greatest movement on the ground, but
eat
still
the
wants
Falco.
to get
That's
to one
probably
of his buttons
good.
that are big, combos at low percent, and is one of the more reliable ways to set up for offstage situations. All of the positive qualities that are mirrored in its low poly version. However, just because it's good doesn't mean it's good enough to form a whole game plan around.
Yeah.
If it's used too much, then it's a great move to bait out, because you know the Kirby isn't going to suddenly be in a different space after it, or have a shine behind it if the punish is sloppy. This ends up encouraging Kirbys to use the move in more aggressive positions, not only relative to 64 Kirby, but even relative to characters in Melee who have top tier up tilts.
Yeah, he gets them off stage, I think.
There's not really a lot that Triple R can use to push their advantage, which might be why, even though Game 1 was close, as Frenzy adapts in Game 2, he kind of puts Triple R in the blender. Fucks him up so hard that R23's popping off.
Wait, did we do this because the guy's wearing a Union Jack flag?
Puts Triple R in the blender.
These British people. Is that why we did this for Frenzy?
Fucks him up so hard that R23's popping off. And what can Triple R do here but their best Jamie Pollock impression? Between 64
Is that a politics joke too?
and Melee, Kirby seemingly got kicked in the teeth, and he was, but he also became a fish out of water. The systems that benefited the character got warped, not intentionally to drown a top tier, but because that's what the sequel was going to be. It was going to be a little faster, with things a little less certain. It was going to be a place where Kirby, a character who benefited from the world they existed in, would be mechanically taxed to death.
I think Kirby should have had a kill throw. Would that fix him?
This goes to show that our little games can be a bit weird. What works in one game doesn't always align itself with the next. And if you're unfortunate enough to never get a patch, your character might be perpetually sitting comfy at the top, or never even have a shot at cracking the honorable mentions of a PR.
Baby. And he was ass ever since. My dream series is cheating in video games and pretending like I'm not. I use a cheat engine in chess, and I'm like, I don't know what to do here. Let me look at the guide.